My name is Esther Robb and I'm Marketing Manager here at TCON. I'm very happy to have Alfred Becker from SAP here with me today. Hi, Alfred.
Hello, Esther. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. So, Alfred, with your industry expertise, what are currently the biggest challenges that companies are facing?
Well, currently, I understand as post-COVID, and post-COVID, COVID showed that not everything broke down, but there was a lot of volatility in many regards. There was demand volatility. You think of a toilet paper crisis. All of a sudden, everyone in some countries they bought a lot of toilet paper, but then they were all stocked up. So a few months later, no one bought. How would you deal with those demand peaks? Or supply chains broke. We saw that global container business had an issue, so people were afraid of running short of supplies and so on. So this is something that probably is answered through a topic that is hot at the moment, that's supply chain resilience. And I think that's in everyone's mouth. So how to do resilience. It was profitability in the past, and that didn't go away. Cost saving and profitability is still around, especially in paper. But now I hear resilience is on top of people's minds. And I think one other topic that pops up really often is the digital transformation, or however you call that. I think everyone has understood that the technology is around. And maybe your competitors are already doing something with it, but what's in for me? So people want to understand how to start and how to benefit from that. So that's also what I hear very often. So that could be the top two, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And how does SAP cater to those specific needs? How do you support your customers in that regard?
Of course, that's my job, so I could speak for hours. But maybe regarding supply chain resilience, on one hand, you want to understand where's the problem. So it's about visibility. So you could simply implement solutions like material tracking and tracing, or a supply chain control tower to understand, is a truck late, is a production late, are we doing fine, where are we? So there would be dedicated solutions to address certain things, of course. But on the other hand, I feel that the basics for all of that is an integrated solution. It's, coming back to a paper company, for example, they need to understand what their customers actually want. So it's about understanding customer requirement, providing that information to production. You want to know how far is production, do I have the capacity, can I distribute afterwards? So it's really about integrating all the different building blocks to get total insight into your supply chain, and that includes manufacturing, but explicitly it's not only manufacturing, it's much broader. So in these terms, we talk about integration, and then you could easily extend that to process automation, new processes. Where do you invent new processes? Then we're at the business technology platform. So that is endless. Therefore, I'm saying that's just an example. And also regarding the digital transformation, there is no one answer that fits all. It's about understanding where you are. That's where SAP RISE came into play. And so we want to help customers understand where are you, analyze your processes, find out about improvement potential, and then you can take that journey and come to much faster results. But I believe that will fill an extra session. So I stop at this point.
You did just mention a couple of challenges that manufacturers in the mill industry are currently facing, such as the supply chain disruptions or the demand side volatility. But in your experience, how strongly are manufacturers actually influenced by these challenges?
Well, we still talk paper and packaging business, and I have to say some were quite lucky. They haven't been hit hard, I would say. Some would even flourish, and some are doing well. They are facing difficult times. But again, as many other analysts as well, I can only repeat, I believe that COVID crisis was an accelerator. It just uncovered existing processes and accelerated the development to the good and the bad. And if you look at how we consume, for example, news in the morning, people tend to use an electronic device. So newspaper business is a difficult area, and this didn't arise with COVID, and it won't go away. So that's something we have to face. But on the other hand, if you look at paper packaging and especially secondary packaging for parcels, I mean, there's so many people in the developed world buying online, and now even food online sales is skyrocketing, and all of that stuff needs packaging. Yeah. So some of them, I think they are doing quite well, but of course some of them were hit hard. And now for me the question is, what does it mean for them? It's of course, if you as a company you're running out of money, totally running out of money, then you lost your ability to react. That's of course, then it's very critical. But for most of them, they're not at this point. It's just they were hit, and now they have to understand, or they have to find a way how to react. And I think that's an interesting learning, that you cannot deduct from the fact that there's a crisis how, for example, investments would develop. Of course, some were afraid. They said, oh, we have to save our money for bad times. But others said, there's a crisis. We have to strengthen our position, so we invest in new technology or invent something. So that's also an interesting learning. Overall, this was for sure not boom time. Yes, I think there was too much times around COVID. They were too difficult, and people were too much afraid of what may come in average. But therefore, I still wouldn't say that, for example, IT investment budgets dropped a lot. But no, that's still doing fine. So obviously, many people believe in investing into the future.
That's actually what we saw at TCON here as well, that a lot of companies actually now boost their IT invest because they want to build a resilient production if they don't already have one, because they do want to be prepared for those challenges that are coming, like the pandemic that was unexpected.